Hello and happy Friday. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah McGuire from SassyPaperCrafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here to help you build your confidence and creativity through paper crafting. Today's card is this one, and it looks a lot more complicated than it is. It is super simple. We're going to be using the Countryside Inn Designer Series paper to make this card and coordinating envelope. It's not super matchy, but it does coordinate. So if you want to see how to make this card, please keep watching. So for our card, we're going to be using the Countryside Inn Designer Series paper and the Timeless Arrangements bundle, which both are in the Stampin' Up! Annual catalog. Let me show you this paper. So this paper features some beautiful blues. It is double-sided and it is on sale right now until June 30th. You get 15% off this paper and so many others. If you would like to purchase this paper, there is a link in the description of this video to shop my online store. Be sure to use the June host code at checkout and you will receive 4 free card tutorials on every order, and orders over $50 get the beautiful boho blue, which is this pretty blue color here, textured ribbon in July. So first we're going to start with stamping. There isn't a whole lot of stamping on this card, just our sentiment, and I did stamp a little bit on the inside. Like I said, we're going to be using the Timeless Arrangements bundle. This is 26 photopolymer stamp set and coordinating dies. We're going to be using the Just Can't Enough stamp, and then Thank You, and then some of these little spriggly things. So let's get our stamps out. So this Just Can't Enough stamp is just one stamp. So that's how you get these two colors here. You stamp it in one color and then you can stamp the Thank You in another color. You can do it all in one color if you'd like, but I'm going to use two. Here's my Thank You. Whoops. So I have this one on a B block. We're going to grab a C block for our Thank You, and then I need my little spriggy thing. We're going to grab a D block for that one. And I have two colors here, Boho Blue, which is a new 2023 to 2025 in color, and Night of Navy. So we're going to start with the Night of Navy and the Just Can't Enough stamp. This is a little crooked, so I'm going to get it on there a little bit straighter, just helps me out. So I'm just tapping very lightly, making sure the whole thing gets nice and inked up. I'm going to go in the middle of this scrap piece of paper because we are going to die cut that out. And that's it for Night of Navy. So now we're going to use Boho Blue to do our Thank You. And I'm just going to get right in the middle. And the nice thing about photopolymer stamps is you can see right through them. And then I'm going to grab our piece for the inside of our card. And all the measurements for all the whole card measurements are on my blog. The link is the first link in the description of this video. So I'm just going to ink that up in Boho Blue. I'm going to do 1, ink it up again, 2, oops, paper has 2 sides. Flip that over, try again. So what just happened was I was stamping and I rocked my stamp because this is kind of a big block for this itty bitty stamp, and I got some ink on it. I rocked it and got it on the middle of the card. So we're going to try this again without rocking the stamp. There. So that's the inside of our card, and that's it for stamping. It's super simple, this card. So now we're going to get our Designer Series paper, and I've already pre-cut it. So I have this, nope, that's for our envelope. That's for our envelope. We're going to put that there. I'll show you how to do the envelope in just a second. But I have our pieces here, our Night of Navy card base. I'm just going to burnish that with a bone folder. And then I'm going to show you how to put on these layers. So I have some liquid glue, because liquid glue is really good for this. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room. With seal, it sticks immediately and you can't really do anything about it. The liquid glue is nice because you have a second. So what I like to do is lay these out, and the way I cut my paper so they match. So it goes this way, and if you kind of look, if you put these two pieces together, they go together. It doesn't really matter, but I just liked that better. So I'm going to lay these out. And then I'm going to take my liquid glue And you can start in the middle, however you'd like to do it. I like to start on the outside. And I'm running out of glue. Just take a little bit. I want to spread that out a little bit. I don't want any big globs of glue. And then we can scoot that over just a smidge. And so the goal here is to have this nice little border all the way around. So I'm just going to kind of do that. But I'm not going to press it down yet until I get it right where I want it. So that looks good there. Then I can press it down, and now that's stuck down there. I really should open a new bottle of glue, but there's still some in here and I don't want to get rid of it yet. Sometimes you just have to shake it real good. This gives me too much more trouble though. I might just get a new bottle. I have a bazillion. Liquid glue is one of those things that I kind of add to almost every order, not realizing how many I actually have. I'm going to slide that over a little bit and see what I mean by wiggle room. I had a big gap there and I just slid it over. The liquid glue gives you time for that. See what I mean? There's still some in here. I don't want to get rid of it. There. Oops, don't slide under there. I'm just going to line that one up. I don't want it to overlap. I just want the edges to touch, and then push it down. And that is our first layer. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take the Timeless Arrangements dies, and we're going to use a couple from this die set. I love this die set. We're going to use this one here for our sentiment. We're also going to use that one, and whoop, that one. And so these are really cool because they have these little panels where you can glue and stick them onto the back of your sentiments, which I really love. So I have a piece of boho blue, bubble bath, because I liked that little pop of pink, and night of navy. And it doesn't matter which ones you do. I might even switch it up and do, I don't know, we'll do this one in night of navy maybe, and this one in boho blue, and this one in bubble bath. So let me grab my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. We can die cut our pieces. So I have my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I have the #1 platform, a #2 cutting plate, and then we're going to put another cutting plate on top of that and do our sentiment first. There's our sentiment, and then we will do our bubble bath piece. Now the nice thing about this die set is all the dies from the Timeless Arrangements dies do fit in the mini machine. So if you don't have the larger Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which I do highly recommend, that way you don't ever have to worry like, is this gonna fit? And they all fit in the standard size one, but I do like the mini. It is nice for traveling. If you go camping and want to take your cards with you or your card making supplies with you, it is nice for that. So let's run this one through here. Whoops, I got one's up a little too high. So you might have noticed I just had some trouble getting my plate to go through. If you look, this is a little bit warped. So what you want to do is, I always have a plate that is just for cutting and then always like a top plate, and this one gets a little scuffed up, but it's not too bad. So when you use things like foils or vellum, if both of your plates are like this one, it's going to leave the impression in that kind of paper. So I always have one that I don't use to cut with, but you do want to flip them over periodically, because I couldn't get that really to go through. And you never ever, now it goes through perfectly, but you never ever want to force anything through your machine. If it's not going, stop. Something is wrong. So let's put the mini machine away, and then we'll put together our card. Now we're ready to put together our pieces. You may notice too, I have two pieces here that are stuck in the die. There are these little tiny holes in each die, and what you can do is take a paper piercer or the tip of your scissors and just kind of poke through those holes and it'll pop this cardstock right out of this die, just like that. We're going to do that to this one, and sometimes you get little intricate pieces in here that are supposed to come out like those, and they get stuck. It's not a big deal. You just kind of poke it with your paper piercer and they pop right out. Oops, I didn't poke that one. There. So now we can put these onto our sentiment here. I just want to get these little pieces out of the way. They'll end up everywhere. So I'm going to take my liquid glue again and bring back in our sample card. So I put the bubble bath piece down first because I want that pink to be like our top layer. Oh, let me see if I can grab another glue. Try this one. Yeah, that one's a little better. So what I'm going to do is I put a little bit of glue on that strip there, and I'm just going to put it behind our sentiment like that and just press down. And again, with the liquid glue, you get a little more time to mess with it, play around with it. You make sure there's no pieces stuck in that one. I'm actually going to throw it away. And this one I'm going to put on the bottom. Like that. And then we can take our boho blue piece. And sometimes if you want to like cut these edges, you totally can. It's however you want to put your card together. But sometimes cutting those edges just makes it easier. But this one lines up pretty good. So it's a little bit different than our sample card, but not really. So now we're going to put a few Stampin' Dimensionals on the back just to pop this up a little bit. I'm going to put that right there. And then I have a few of the pastel adhesive back sequins. So these have 3 colors in them. I'm going to grab the blue ones here. And there's 2 sizes. There's these smaller ones and the large ones. I'm going to grab 2 of the small and 1 of the large ones. Pop that there. I didn't put the inside of our card. I only got to do that. I'll grab my seal for that. And there's our oopsie side. Pop that in. And then we got to do our envelopes. I need my liquid glue again, and our envelope and our designer series paper. Now again, all the measurements for the card, the little strip on the envelope, they'll be on my blog. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue on the envelope itself because this is too big. So that is clearly too big for the envelope. I don't want glue on the pieces that we're going to get rid of. So I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue on the flap. And then we can take our designer series paper, and I just line it up with that line there. Line it up, press it down, and grab my paper snips. And I just cut, this is almost like fussy cutting. I just cut the edge off, following that flap. Just like that. And now we have a coordinating envelope for our card. I love the little foxes on here, but now we have a coordinating envelope, and you can use the same designer series paper. I didn't want it to be super matchy, so I went with coordinating instead of exact match. But I hope you enjoyed this card today. If you did, be sure to give the video a thumbs up and click that subscribe button to see more videos from me. I have new videos every Monday and Friday. Again, I hope you enjoyed this card, and I hope you enjoyed talking about designer series paper all week long. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook and Pinterest for more ideas using your designer series paper. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you next time.